the format of PMP has been changed, and I'll be taking you through a new format, and I'll be sharing with you how the things have changed. Okay, so I will consider it taking care of. I'll take care of the majority. So if you are attending for the first time, I will introduce you to the beautiful world of project management. That is one thing I'll make sure. And then after that, also for the remaining 30% of the people, so 24%, very important, 24% who have attended the previous version of project management training, and they would like to know what is new in the new format, which is launched on 2nd January. So I will distribute my time accordingly. Same way, 70% of the time I'll introduce you to the project management, assuming that you don't know anything about project management. And then after that, uh, towards the last 15 minutes, I will spend a little bit of time. So 1.5 hours around, I will spend, or let's say 1 hour, 15 minutes, I'll introduce you to the project management. After that, I will talk about the upgrade, changes, I would say. We shouldn't say upgrade, it should be changes. So every time, a lot of changes we have seen happening in PMI, and I would definitely like to tell you about it. And of course, let us start. And the agenda for the program is that I will talk about what is definition of project, and what are project phases, and what are the knowledge areas. Now, knowledge areas have become tasks, so I would rather call them tasks. And then after that, we'll talk about so tools and techniques. We'll be talking about lots of tools and techniques. Some of the most difficult tools and techniques, which generally are used in project management. And then finally, what to study. Okay. Also, we are happy to tell that we are, again, of course, we were an REP earlier, registered education provider. Now, the new name for that is ATP, accredited training provider. So Anexas Europe is one of the accredited training provider of PMI. So one thing, a major thing which has changed, I would say, earlier we had to make our own material. Now all the material which ATP is supposed to train has to come from PMI. So whatever we are going to train you in our training program, it has to come from the PMI. So that is one thing we'll be teaching you, and also we'll be enrolling you for the course material with PMI. So a little bit of cost has increased a little bit, not much, but yeah, but you are definitely going to get a lot of value addition. So this thanks for participating in the polls, and uh, let me know. Now, those who are especially new to the project management, uh, if there is a project, let's take a simple example. Let's say you are constructing a building, okay, or any parts, completing any project. If there is no project manager, what will happen? What will you see happening in that project? If you can just uh, write in the chat box, and I'll just have a look at it. Okay. Oh, very good. So no smooth flow of information, Anuj says, no direction. Okay, Suresh Babu says, okay. Samir says, project is delayed, messy, no communication, no coordination. Okay, so one interesting thing is that project can still be executed without a project manager. Yeah, I hope you agree with that. Do you agree with that? A project can still be executed without a project manager. Oh, some people are saying no, some people are saying yes. Yeah, so answer is uh, project can still be executed, yeah, without a project manager. Like for example, uh, do you know that people who went to Mount Everest? I know I know that you know the names of Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Sherpa. You know the names of those people who scaled the height for the first time, but there was a project manager. That was a project, isn't it? Any one-time activity which is unique in nature is a project. It has got a starting point and end point. So that is a basic definition of a project. Okay. So the answer is project can still be executed without a project manager. Even organizing a dinner party in your office is a project. Hmm? Now, if that can happen, then what is the contribution of project manager? Does project manager do any work, or is he just coordinating, or is he just a person who is uh, is there with a designation and ensures that it is completed on time? So if you say, some people said he completes the project on time, does he do any work himself? Like, let's take an example. And the best way to learn project management is by taking an example. And that's what one of the tip is. When you're writing the exam, the whole idea of this training program is to make you pass the PMP examination. You should not be afraid of the project management professional examination. It is not easy, of course, it is not easy, but it is not tough or very difficult also. They want you to have a certain knowledge, and um, they want you to think in a certain way so that you can be an effective project manager. And our job is to train you to think in that particular method or the way. And when you're answering the questions, so some of the tip, and one of the, in fact, I will keep you giving lots of tips during the whole session. But the one very good tip would be, and this is not the top three tips which I'm going to talk about. Top three tips are going to come towards the end, so that you stay there, right? So top three tips are going to come towards the end. But the one of the tip is, whenever you are appearing for a PMP examination or thinking about a project or learning about a project, think of a large project, a project which has 300 to 400 people executing that particular project, a project which has got, let's say, approximately 1 to 2 years for execution. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that every project has to have a duration of 1 year or 2 years. It doesn't mean that. But when you're answering the questions in PMI examinations, think like that. But as I told you, organizing a dinner party in your office also is a project. Shifting your office from one building to another building is also a project. But when you are answering the PMP examination, think about a large project. Well, some of you are asking me about my introduction. Okay, sorry, I forgot to give my introduction. That let me open the slide. Actually, I was trying to, maybe I'll share my slides. Thing is, I'm a chemical engineer. From 1990, I graduated as a chemical engineering, and I'm an MBA in finance, and I was really working hard, I would say. Uh, you know, uh, if you go back around in 1990s, that decade of 1990 to 2000, I was even working for 12 hours per day. And somehow it happened, I don't know, it was not really planned that way, but somehow it happened that whichever company I used to join, it used to be in the commissioning stage. In fact, one of the company was in designing stage. So designing, I would join a petrochemical. In fact, I worked in the petrochemical industries for the first 10 years of my career. So I would join like EPDM, ethylene propylene diene rubber plant. It was in design stage. Then it was commissioned. The whole project was commissioned. The plant was commissioned. And then I would join the operations department of that particular company. I'll spend around 1 or 2 years there. Also, 1 year designing, commissioning, executing the whole project, erecting the plant, even erection, and then erecting the whole plant. And after spending 1 or 2 years there, then I would move on to another organization. So there was another company which I was. The project was constructing the ethylene column. There was an ethylene producing column. So my project was to get that whole column commissioned. Then one of the major projects, I would say, was one whole polyethylene terephthalate PET plant, polyethylene terephthalate. It was designed. I was not in designing, but I joined once the design was completed and the erection was there. So erection and commissioning. So I was involved there. So I was doing really hard work, good work. I was earning only $50 per month. That I just wanted to tell you that. I still remember those days. And I'm an amateur poet also. I keep writing. My poems get published. Still, they get published in a lot of magazines in Hindi, Urdu, and English as well. Yeah, but something happened. And after that, I would say that I completed one black belt. So after 10 years, I became a black belt, Lean Six Sigma black belt. I did some improvement project, and I also completed my PMP certification in 2008. And all of these things completely changed my life. Okay. And of course, I had to spend a lot of money those days. Doing Lean Six Sigma black belt was not easy. I had to travel on my own money. In fact, I was not a very good performing employee in my organization, so I did not find my a nomination. They used to nominate people for green belt certification, black belt certification. So I paid my own money, and then I went to Paris and I attended some training. And after that, I completed some projects and I came to know about PMI and its methodology of PMP and the importance of becoming a PMP. So I was sure that it will help me to execute a lot of projects, because launching Lean Six Sigma in an organization is a huge project. Then when you are launching Lean Six Sigma in an organization, you also have to do lots of black belt projects. So I'm not going to much about that, but that's how my project management journey continued. So earlier I was erecting and commissioning the big, large chemical plants and petrochemical plants. Now I joined lots of other organizations, consulting organizations like KPMG, and we founded a company in 2006 later on, because we got a lot of confidence through our experience. And of course, let me tell you today, 2020, I would say I've completed more than 500 projects, improvement projects, and the 3 big, large chemical projects, petrochemical projects also included in it. I've been speaking in reputed conferences. A successful entrepreneur, also running a project management and Lean Six Sigma training company. We are affiliated to PMI. We're proud to tell you that we have one of the first companies to launch the new format. It was to launch in 2nd of January, and I'm conducting this training program with full confidence for you. So we are one of the first companies to launch the new format of the PMI, the new version of the PMP course material. And of course, see, everyone has launched it, but we are talking about it. We are training you for free as an introduction part. Now, because most of the people are not, they are getting into project management for the first time. So rather than I talking about the transition, etc., I'll directly jump to what is project management. Of course, so that was about me. And just to tell you that the purpose of doing these trainings, I keep doing 2 hours of free trainings. Sometimes they are knowledge area based, sometimes they are about Lean and Six Sigma, sometimes they're tool and techniques based. And all these training programs are there on my Anexas channel, YouTube channel, Anexas YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that. So you will come to know about a lot of tools and techniques in project management, and not only project management, also in the other areas like green belt and black belt and quality improvement, etc. Okay, so about just to tell you that Anexas is a global, our company is a global network of professionals, and we have trained 150,000 people in around the world. And thanks to pandemic, I would say, going online has really helped increased our reach out there. Just to prove that I have done training programs worldwide, I have got some photographs for you. which are clicked worldwide. So London, Bangalore, Mumbai, Dubai, China, and Philippines, and USA. Just to prove that I'm the right person to train you. And also I'm PMP certified person, and our organization, as I already told you, those who have joined late, we are an accredited training provider of PMI. Won a lot of awards and various forums, and appeared on TVs as well. This is one of those who are from India, they will recognize this gentleman. And we had a lot of fun on our this thing on the TV show. I'm also a regular speaker in conferences. Just a little bit of idea.
On 21st of May 2019, I'm going to speak in American Society of Quality's World Conference in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm going to talk about how one of the fields in artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, or RPA, can be used to support process improvement initiatives along with Lean and Six Sigma. We will see how this combination leads to improved productivity, improved quality, and reduced costs. Using a case study from a bank, I will share a roadmap to leverage the capabilities of existing quality programs like Six Sigma with RPA to produce better results. So see you there on the 21st of May in Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay, so yeah, I've been speaking in a lot of conferences, PMI conferences, etc. So okay, so that was about me, and I hope now you are say convinced that I'm the right person to train you. Okay, so now let us go back, and I will take you back to introducing you to the project management. So as I was talking about, a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to produce a unique product or service. Okay, so a project has a defined start date and end date. So it is dead after some time. Project no longer exists after some time. It has got a temporary team. That means a team is formed at the beginning of the project. And of course, after the project is over, the objectives of the projects are achieved, the team is dismantled. So a project manager has to be, a good manager in the sense that because see, he's not like a department manager. That because the team is a temporary team, so managing such a team is really challenging. So he has to have certain qualities, and that has been very much emphasized in the new format or new version of PMI. So they're emphasizing on three domains: people domain, process domain, and business environment. So around 40% of the marks are related to people domain, about managing the team, about managing the stakeholders, about engaging the stakeholders. So all these things are very, very important. And I will talk about the distributions of questions towards the end. But now, as you might have guessed, project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to produce a unique product or a service. So can I have some examples? Can you give me some example of a project? Okay. Yes. So yeah, you can write. I can see your chat. You may not see the chat of others. Yes. Some people are asking. Okay. Okay. ERP hotel project. Okay. Construction of a hotel. Mohammed Rizwan is telling. Okay. School admission to a kid. A very big project. Yes. Construction of a substation. Building a CNC machine. Yes. Transmission projects. Absolutely. Right. So these are all examples of project. So I understand that you got to know what is a project. This is unique and it is progressively elaborated. It is progressively elaborated. Proceeding steps, continuing, progressively elaborate means, step by step, with care and detail, it is developed thoroughly. So let us take an example. Now let's imagine that, just for the sake of, we have a large group here, so I will not take the name of anyone, otherwise we generally assign the roles. But here in this case, let's say Bill Gates has given you a job to start a project to construct a five-star hotel. And not only you have to construct the five-star hotel, you have to commission the five-star hotel, make it ready, for functioning, and also and hand it over to Marriott hotels, right? So this is the project given to you. So you are the project manager. Think about that. Okay. Now we will try to apply some of the tools and techniques. Okay. So as a project manager, there are three constraints, very important constraints, within which you need to work on: scope, cost, and time. Scope, cost, and time. Scope means what are the functionalities, means what exactly you have to execute, what are the things you need to do when you are constructing the five-star hotel. Okay, so all the things, like it starts with design, laying the foundation, constructing the building, painting the building, and then getting the furnishing done in the hotel rooms, beautifully getting the reception done, having the three or four restaurants, the Italian restaurant, the Mediterranean restaurant, and maybe a Thai restaurant. All these things, need to be there, and a swimming pool, etc. So all these are known as scope. But a project manager has got another constraint, which is cost and time. So he is assigned a budget. A overall budget is assigned to him, but he has to estimate the costs of all the detailed costs of most of the activities. So we will see how he would do, how you will do. So you are the project manager, how you will be doing. And also there is a time constraint. So this project needs to be completed within the timeline. So let's say Bill Gates has told you to complete this project within 2 years. Okay, so ready to do the project? Now, the quality of the project will be decided whether you are providing what the customer is asking. Now, here I would say the Bill Gates is the customer. He's got a lot of money, and he's the sponsor also. Or sometimes he can say that, my Bill Gates Foundation, it's going to sponsor. So then Bill Gates Foundation becomes the sponsor. The stakeholder who is providing you the money, the institution, it can be a bank also, suppose. No, he doesn't need a bank loan, but suppose one of your customer is going for a bank loan. Then in that case, the sponsor becomes the bank. So the entity which is providing you the funds becomes the sponsor. In this case, our customer and sponsor both are Mr. Bill Gates. Let us keep things simple. And the user might be the Marriott Hotel, and you are the project manager. All of you are known as stakeholders. So we have got our stakeholders in place. You are given the time, you are given the costs, and also very, very high level picture of what you need to do. Okay. Your quality of the project will be determined. Are you giving what the customer is asking? Are you giving within the time? And are you giving it within the budget? If you are doing all of them, you are 100% quality. But obviously, some slippages will be there, some delays will be there, some changes will be there, which is natural. And that is why project manager is so important. So you'll be needing resources. You'll be needing, also, you have to evaluate the risks as well. So because of the lack of time, I want to give you a brief introduction. I'll not go into the details of all of these topics, but I'll be just touching upon. The idea is to give you a 50,000 view of project management, like, when you're landing, when you're in an aeroplane and you're landing, about to land in the city, you can see the a bigger picture of the city. You can't see the lanes and bylanes. So I won't be going into the tasks and deliverables in my training programs, but I'll be introducing you to the basics of the project management. So other things which are important, like you would like to enhance the cost, enhance the quality, isn't it? So you can also imagine what can go wrong with the project. So imagining what can go wrong with the project is about risk management. So identify the risks, brainstorm on the risks, and then take care of those risks, like take some actions, preventive actions, so that proactive actions, so that these risks, even they occur, you are able to take care of them. Okay, then you have to also plan about the team. Team is very important. People and other resources, other infrastructure, all these things are also need to be considered. So projects are generally resulting from strategic planning. So your organization, what is strategy? Every organization has got a goal, or if I just go a little bit in more detail here, every organization has got a vision, okay? And every organization has got a mission. Mission is something which organization keeps on doing. It doesn't change over the period of time. Usually it doesn't change. Vision, what is the vision? Vision of the organization is how the organization wants itself to see after, at some point of time. Like we have a 2025 vision. We have a 2030 vision. Some of the countries have 2030 visions. Some of the countries have 2040 vision. How we see ourselves in 2025, 2030, 2045. So at one point of time, usually, how do we see ourselves? That is known as a vision. So mostly all organizations have a vision statement. To achieve that vision, of course, following the mission. What is the mission? The purpose of existence of the organization. So there's a difference between mission and vision. Mission means, like, if I take an example of Walt Disney, the mission has been same over the last 100 years, to make people happy. But the vision has changed over the period of time. Maybe early 90s, their vision, or 1930s or 40s, their vision was to become the number one cartoons cartoon selling publishing company, cartoon publishing company. Maybe somewhere in mid 20th century, I would say, their vision might be to be the number one theme parks in the whole world, and maybe towards the end of the 20th century to become the number one cartoon film manufacturing company. And maybe today the vision is that, I'm not sure about that, but today the vision is to become the number one film producing company or entertainment company in the world. I'm just guessing on that part. So vision keeps changing, just wanted to tell you. And mission remains the same, keeping people, want to make people happy. That's the mission. Vision. To achieve the vision, you have to create strategies. How I'm going to do that? Now, projects come out of these strategies. So organization wants to become number one in particular domain. Okay, so that is organization's need. Now, maybe Bill Gates wants to start a hotel for the poor, maybe. Yeah. So in this case, that is the vision of the organization. I'm just making assumption. Bill Gates did not come and tell me about all these things. I'm just trying to teach some tools and techniques using some simple examples, because we have got a large group. So that is why I'm trying to, take some simple examples. Now, it can be a technological advance. Like, for example, take an example of mobile phones. So usually you will see that in mobile phones, you have got continuous upgrades. Technological advance happens. Competitor is coming out with a new upgrade. So you'd like to upgrade. Upgrading a product is a project. COVID vaccine, developing a COVID vaccine is a project. It can be a market demand, it can be organizational need, it can be customer request. Customer may tell you that implement ISO 9000 in your organization. So in that case, implementing ISO 9000 becomes a project. It can be a legal requirement also. Maybe you have to fulfill some environmental related compliances. So maybe organization might be told by the government saying that, you need to execute certain projects. So that can be also a project. Now coming to the cost and staffing levels, it is less at the initial stages And as the project progresses, so here in our five-star hotel project also, if you take our example, at the initial stages, the cost and staffing level will be a little bit lower, and that it will increase, and then towards the final phases, it will go down. Influence of the stakeholders will be high at the beginning, and as the project progresses, it will reduce. Like, for example, what color of the color you should be using while painting our hotel, five-star hotel. The influence of the store, that the decision-making capacity of the stakeholders is really high in the beginning, but once the project progresses, their influence reduces. And similarly, cost of change is also, keep on increasing as the project progresses. I think this is very obvious. Any questions you can just ask, and I'll be seeing in the chat box. And if very, very quick question, if something very quickly I can answer, I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, I can answer many of your questions towards the end as well. So who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders are the people or the entities or the institutes who are positively or negatively impacted by the project. So here, of course, you are one of the stakeholders. You are the project manager, right? So you are a stakeholder, the customer and the user. In our case, the Bill Gates is the customer, and Marriott is the user. And then you might be working in an organization. Your organization, you must be having a team. Your organization will be executing this project. So this project will be executing by your organization. So your organization will be known as performing organization. Performing organization. Project team members. Project team members are the people who will be working in the project, who will be executing the project, who will be involved in designing, the architect, the laying the foundation, and constructing the building and furnishing the building, etc. Everyone who is involved in this is known as project team members. Sponsor is the person or the group that provides the funding. Influencers are the people who may impact the project. Like, for example, if you are acquiring some land for your five-star hotel project, and some people are already occupying that land, or you need to buy that land, these people might be, influenced, or they may influence your project. They may delay your project. They may be affected, of course, positively or negatively. Depends on how much money you're offering to them. They will be, they are also the stakeholders. And PMO is a department in the most of the organizations who are project oriented, who is, if see, PMO is not present in all the organizations, but if it is present, PMO is the back office for the project managers. It has got all the templates which the organization uses whenever it executes any project. It also allocates the project managers. If you've got lots of project managers with you, it will allocate. It also stores all the information. It also stores all the lessons learned from the previous projects. So PMO is a project management office. And in case if it exists, then PMO is also one of the stakeholders of the project. So you have understood stakeholders? Yes. Let us proceed with our project. And there are, in fact, I'll not go into the details of different types of organizations. We have functional organizations and the projectized organizations. So I'll just, if I, in the interest of time, I just quickly tell you that most of the organizations are functional organizations. You have departments, isn't it? Departments like you have marketing department, operations department, finance department, IT department. In the projectized organizations, you have got like full projects. You have a department headed by a project manager, and all these project managers have their own teams. They have their own teams. So whenever a project is allocated to such an organization, the whole team works on that project. But in a typical functional organization, when you are doing a project, you have to pull out the people from the departments and then execute that project. So there are two different types of, I just wanted to explain. And there are a mix of both, like, not leaning towards functional organization and not leaning extremely towards the projectized organization. So we call them as matrix organization. Okay, we'll be providing uh, the recording of the training, so don't worry, worry about training, taking the notes, and don't worry about the material also. So, okay. Now coming to the level of process interaction. So when you are initiating, now this particular thing, I'll just tell you that typically there are 4 to 5 phases of a project. Typically, the basic 3 phases are always there: initiation, the intermediate, and the closing. So you have to initiate the project, then you have to plan and execute whatever you have planned, and then keep monitoring whatever you are executing, and then of course you are closing. Now, those who have done, as I see, like 30% of you have done the previous version of project management training already. So if I just take you through that process groups which you had learned. So let me just take you through that. So whenever you are executing a project, typically, and not necessarily, I'm just saying not necessarily, but typically, every project will have 5 stages, usually. One is initiation, then you have planning, then execution, monitoring, and closing. Now, this slide is for those who have done the previous version. Now, little bit some changes are there. So processes still exist, but now they have been classified into 3 domains: people domain, process domain, and the business environment domain. So all these processes which were there, like if you see, whenever you start a project, you have to develop a project chart. You know? That's the first thing. Then you have to plan. Like for example, when you receive, let's say, an order, purchase order from Bill Gates, that you need to construct a 5-star hotel. So the first thing is, what you will do is you will develop a project charter. It will be again not detailing about the whole 5-star hotel, the features of the hotel, etc. It will not be a too detailed information about what needs to be done in the project, but it is again, I would say, a bigger picture sort of, where what needs to be executed. Like, it will tell you that it should have 25 floors. It will tell you the location. It will tell you the what exactly how many rooms it will have, and what kinds of restaurants it will have. So the high level features will be provided, but dimensions of the rooms may not be there. The color of the furniture of the room may not be there in the project charter. So please remember, project charter, that is, you start with that. Then you plan the whole thing, how you are going to construct your 5-star hotel. And once you have planned, and we'll come to those processes. Once you have planned it, then you will be executing. Once you are executing that plan, naturally everything not go as per your plan. So some things will be as per the plan, some things will be delayed, some cost will be a little bit, sometimes more or less. So you will have to monitor and keep controlling that you are not going out over budget, you are not delaying the project or delaying in any activity. And then all these 3 things together you will do for different phases of the project. Like for design also, you will keep on doing this. You'll plan for the design, you'll execute the design, you'll monitor and control the how you're designing. After that, you will go to the, let's say, laying the foundation. Again, the same thing will be there. So these planning, execution, and monitoring will keep on happening for different phases. And finally, you will be closing the whole projects. So planning, execution, monitoring, and closing may happen for different activities. Like it will happen for designing, it will happen for foundation, it will happen for painting, it will happen for constructing that swimming pool. Everything will be undergoing planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Okay. Now, earlier, those who have studied earlier, there were knowledge areas. So now, and then knowledge areas had processes. Now these processes are known as tasks. Okay, so I'll talk about that. As I said, I promised towards the end I will talk about that, and I'll tell you the differences. But let us see for those who are doing it for the first time. So let us introduce them to how the project is executed. So first thing is you write the project chart. So let us write a project charter, and I'll just give you an example. Many of the IT guys are here, so let me give you an example of IT project, and then I'll give an example of a five-star hotel project. So this is a project charter. Typically will have a project title. It will have a start date. It will have a end date. It will have a project name of the project manager, the objective of the project, and then budget of the project, and then what is the approach, typical approach the project manager should follow or the performing organization must follow. So these are the some of the things which a typical project charter will have. So project title, project start date, project finish date, project manager, project objectives, budgeted, how much is the budget, and the approach. Okay. And then based on that, we will create a work breakdown structure. We will, you know, divide the whole project. Uh, we call it decomposition method. We will, break down the overall work to smaller components, and they will keep on breaking it down till the time we get something called as work package. So work package is a group of activities where I can sufficiently accurately assign the cost and the time fairly accurately. Okay, so like for example, in our example of our hotel example, this is the example for the IT company, and as I see, I'm giving you an overview, so I'm not going to the details of this. So I'm giving you a bigger picture of the whole project management. So I'm not going to describe those work packages, etc. But of course, in our class, the 35 hours of training which I provide, we go into the details of everything. And of course, we all of us do exercise, so it takes time. And by the way, those who have attended our training programs, we don't restrict ourselves to 35 hours. In fact, we go beyond it. But 35 hours definitely is there. After that, we solve a lot of questions and answers. A lot of questions and answers from different books. We have got a thousand questions of model questions. 200 questions have been provided to us by PMI. All ATPs, in fact, they receive those 200 questions, plus a lot of other questions. Based on that, we practice a lot, even after the 35 hours. That is definitely, and we have got a lot of time as well. So right now, of course, due to the restriction of time, we have time, cost, and scope constraint in this project also. This is also a project, isn't it? So completing this webinar is also a project. So we have got a time constraint. A cost constraint is not there right now. It's free. The training is free. And scope is there. So I should introduce you to the project management. 70% of the people want that. Plus, I should also cater to the needs of the 30%. Like, what are the differences they would like to know? Okay, so five-star hotel project, they have come out with a project charter, and what is the acceptance criteria, constraints, assumption, etc. Just an example. And the work breakdown structure for the five-star hotel project. So it can be design, like designing, what will be the hotel identity, interior design. So interior design is a work package, exterior design is a work package, furniture design is a work package. These are all work packages. So whatever once we break down the bigger project into smaller components called work packages, we will also, and of course, we'll assign a number, a code to each work package. So if you see, this is 1, this is 1.1, this is 1.1.1, this is 1.1.2. So this is known as code of accounts. Okay. So it uniquely identifies each element of the WBS, work breakdown structure. So you have work packages, deliverable at the lowest level of the work breakdown structure, and the work breakdown a WBS dictionary which describes exactly what needs to be done, what needs to be done, what are the set of activities you need to do. Then once that is done, okay. But before that, how will you get this? Can you construct this on your own? Do you think project manager will be writing this project charter? Do you think project manager will be constructing this WBS, work breakdown structure? No. Yes, most of you are saying no. Yes. So he has to have a team. So he has to build a team. And the team has got 4 stages, or say 5 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, and of course, now the fifth has been added, where you will dismantle the team. So forming means you form a team. He will be managing lots of teams. He'll be having a lot of team. He'll be having team for everything. He'll be having procurement team also, because as a when you are constructing a 5-star hotel, I'm sure that all of the things you can't do on your own. You may have to hire contract workers. You may have to hire designers. You may have to hire quality professionals. You may have to hire lawyers. You may have to hire painters. So many. So of course you have to work with people. So people is very, very important. Involvement of people. That is why people domain has 40% questions coming in the, so out of the 180 questions, 180 questions will be there. Out of that, 175 will be scoring questions. Now 40% of them are related to people, to manage the conflict, forming the team, leading the team, inspiring the team. So I'm not going into the details right now for that, but as I said, but this is very, very important. So you have got your, now how will he know? How will I know that, as a project manager? By the way, you can still, let me tell you that as well. Even though you have nothing to do with hotel, you have never done any hotel project. Let me ask you this question. Can you be a project manager to construct this hotel? If you have not done, you have never, done any project related to the hotel. Can you still do a hotel? Can you still be a project manager for this hotel? Yes. Some people are saying no. Some people are saying yes. So answer is yes. Most of 90% of you are saying yes. Some people are saying like 10% are saying no. The answer is yes. Even though you have nothing to do with IT, still you can be a project manager on an IT project. Okay. So the question is how? Because as a project manager, management professional, you should be knowing the tools and techniques. And that is what PMP training is providing to you. It is telling you how to collect the requirements. So we will collect the requirements. What we will do, now you don't know anything about the hotel, let's say. I'm sure 99% of you have never constructed a hotel, but you can still be a project manager. But how? You would like to know how to construct that swimming pool. You don't know about it. How will you get? Can you tell me? From where will you get? You'll get, yes, experts. You can always, you have hotel construction experts. You can use Delphi technique. Delphi technique is a technique where you ask the experts, okay, I'm constructing a 5-star hotel in, let's say, Dubai, and I would like to, I would like to know what exactly needs to be done. And these experts may be located, one in New York, one in London, one in Riyadh, one in Tokyo, one in Sydney. People can be located in different locations, and you will get all these people to tell about what will be the requirements of constructing a hotel. And they will tell you about the requirements. It can be specific to, let's say, painting. It can be specific to design. It can be specific, or it can be general. So these experts can tell you, and then you collate all that information, send it back to them, and telling that, you're participating in a Delphi technique. This is known as Delphi technique. And then you send it back to them. They will also have a look at what others have to say about this. And then they will send it back to you. So you keep on doing this for some times. And then after that, you have a consolidated requirements from so many experts, which will be much, much better than if you had just taken opinion of one expert. So you can always use the expert opinion is there. You can use historical records. You can use lots of things, when you are I'm not using any jargons because it's an introductory program, so I'm not going to use jargons of organizational process assets and other things. Those who have already done the training, they may correlate with that. Okay, so now I've got the requirements, detailed requirements. I've got all the detailed requirements, how to construct the five-star hotel. Even though I have never constructed, I have never been involved in such a project, but still I'm having required information. So once I have got that, I break this down and create the work breakdown structure, work packages. Now what to do? I have to schedule. Now I need to schedule so that all the activities, isn't it? So that I am well within the time. I need to deliver within 2 years. So how do I do that? So you will create a schedule. You can use different network diagramming methods. One of the common methods is PDM method, and here this is precedent diagramming method, where you list down all the activities. You have a start, activity on node, we call them. So start and finish. Some of the activities can be done in parallel, like A, B, C can be done in parallel with the D and E. And start, some activities can be done, like F can be done also in parallel with A, B, C, and D. But B can't be completed unless A is completed. So there are dependencies, right? So we construct a nice schedule. Once we have constructed a nice schedule, and who will tell us that A will take 5 weeks, B will take 6 weeks? Again, historical records, benchmarking. Look at others, how much other projects took, how much time they took. Or you can again have experts. You can estimate. There are different estimation techniques. We learn in our project management training. We learn different types of estimation. So you estimate those durations. Not only durations, you have to estimate the costs also. So our duration is estimated. We'll sequence those activities, and then we will come out with each activity will take how much time. And when you have got activities in parallel, there are three, like in this case, there are three possible paths. Okay. If I were to just to, give an example, let's say designing, I would say construction, and designing, you can't construct before designing, so A and B. But D and E can be recruitment of people, recruitment of your staff. That can start, you can still start, before, even though construction is happening, so recruitment can be still started. So these are some examples with respect to our five-star hotel project. A little bit of emphasis on agile method is also there in the new technique. So if time permits, I'll talk about that as well. But yeah, let's see how much time I have. Okay, so now you can use milestone charts. Milestone charts tells me that this particular activity will be completed by when. These are known as milestone charts. Or I can use Gantt charts. Gantt charts means it shows the duration of each of the activities. So this is the duration of the main tasks and the subtasks. If you see the details of the durations of the subtasks is given here. So this is known as Gantt charts. Another example of a Gantt chart, detailed example of a Gantt chart. So we now our five-star hotel, the detailed plan is ready. The detailed plan is now being ready. Now this is in terms of the time. Now, if you want to practice, do you want to practice some of the network diagramming method? Up to you. Some people are knowing about it. Some people are asking, can we use critical path method? Yes, of course, CPM. So if you want to learn very quickly, let's see. Still, we can do that. Okay. Although, in fact, this problem is solved in my Anexas YouTube channel. But let us do that together if you want to do that. But anyway, then it will take some time out from the other topic. But let's see. If you want, then let me do that. So if I am taking let me solve this problem. So here, what do you want? Let's say that activity A, this approval takes 3 months. Okay, activity B takes 3 months, but it can start after A is completed. Okay, activity C can start after A is completed. Okay, so both B and C can start after A is completed. They are in parallel. I think you are able to visualize. And D can start only after B is completed. Okay. So if I want to picture it in a network diagram, very quickly, let me do that. Okay. So whenever you are doing a network diagram, generally it's very advisable to start with the small, say, I would say circle saying start. Okay, and towards the end somewhere, I hope I'll be able to fit in here. Okay, let's see, I'll say finish. Always better to do that, right? And then we have got the first activity, that is activity A. Yeah, and it says activity A start, it has 3 months. So activity, I will write on the top of that box, activity is 3 months. Then comes activity B. It can start after A, and C also can start after A. So what will I do? B. I'll put B here, and I'll put C here also. Okay. After that, C can start after A is completed. Okay, that's done. D can start after B is completed. So D start after B is completed. Let me do that. D can start after B is completed. And let us also write the durations. So B is 3, C is 6, and D is 8. B is 3, D is 6. Sorry, let me see. C is 6 and D is 8. C is 6, D is 8. C is 6 and D is 8. Okay, it happens. And then after that, yes, it's easy. Not like, don't be afraid of regular. Sometimes, learning takes a little time, but okay. And then comes, so we have C and D. D is 8. Then E can start after C is completed and after D. Both C and D are completed. It takes 4. Okay. So it will be something like this. Both C and D should be completing. It should be E. And then, of course, and it is taking how much time? I forgot. E is taking 4 months. Maybe 4 days, 4 months, whatever. So 4. Now, I have got 2 paths. If I see, I've got 2 paths. A, B, D, E and A, C, E. A, B, D, E. In fact, we should also write here start and then finish. That also needs to be written. So 3 plus 3 plus 8 plus 4. How much is it? And then here start, then A, C, and E. So there are 2 possible paths, which is 3 plus 6 plus 4. So 14. And this is how much? 18. Yes. So the longest duration will be known as the critical path. Why it is known as critical path? Because it is critical. Why it is critical? Because any delay on this path will delay the project. But here, if you delay C by a little bit, that's fine. So that is known as. Now, if I want to know how much say buffer is available, float time, we call it float time. Like I can delay C by some time. You can easily guess, but how much? So let me do a method. Let us we call it as a forward pass method. What will happen? What we'll do? in each activity, we will write early start and early finish. Okay. And then here, late start and late finish. So let us fill this in very quickly. So while going from left to right, I'll just write the early start and early finish. And then proceeding from right to left, I will fill in the details for late start and late finish. So I can start this at 0 day. And how much time? Earliest I can finish by 3. B, activity B, I can start at 3. The earliest start can happen for activity B at 3. And C also can be started at 3. Okay. And it will finish by 9. Okay. Finish by 9. And this will also finish by 6. Now, D, for D, tell me, early start of D will be what? Everyone is telling 6? Okay. Let me write 6 then. If you are telling 6, then I. And what will be the early finish for D? 14, yes. Harsh, Abhijit, Suresh, okay, 14. Okay, Mohammed, Adam, yes. Then it is 14, right? 6 plus 8. Some people have written something else. So 6 plus 8, 14. Then, now, the big question, E for E. So we have to be very careful. Whenever, see, first I have marked my critical path with this double, parallel marks. Yeah. Now, what should be the earliest start? Some people are telling 9. No, it cannot be 9. Why? It cannot, you cannot start E unless you start both D and C, right? Yes. You cannot start. So it has to be, both have to complete. So earliest you can start E by 14 only. And then it will be, this will be 18. Yes. Now let us go backwards. Latest finish of E will be 18 and early finish. So latest start of E can be 18 minus 4, that is 14. Now let us be careful. Whenever there are two branches coming out or coming towards a box, you have to be careful. Okay. So D, what is the latest finish? Latest you can finish D by when? 14, okay. How about C? Latest you can finish C by when? Some people are saying 9, but no, let us, why 9? You can even delay C till 14, nothing will happen, isn't it? Latest you can start by 14, isn't it? Because E will have to wait for D to complete. So even C can delay latest finish. Latest finish. Zaid is asking, I have a question here. Activity A will take 3 months, then B will take 3 months. So early start while, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we will be starting like, 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to, so you keep on adding 3 plus 3 is 6. Then it starts on 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. And it's then you can start. Once you are completed on 14, so you can say, think of it is mid-noon of 14. Okay, you can think of that way. Okay, I got your point. So mid-noon of 14. So you finish on 14th day, but you can start in the afternoon on 14th day. Yeah, you can take it that way. Okay, that will clarify. Okay, now 14. Now C. Now C, tell me, LS, latest start. Latest you can start by when? Latest you can start by 14 minus 6, that is, yeah, most of the people are telling 8. Okay, good. Now here, let me fill in. Now for critical path, it's easy. Generally, 14 minus 8 is 6. Generally, critical path, there is no float, means there is no buffer. So both in critical path, you will find both will be same. This and this will be same, and this will be same. I'm telling it a little fast. I'm training. I know I'm not giving adequate time, but I need to teach you a lot of things. So you have a recording later on. You can watch it and replay. Okay. So then this is 6 and this is 3. And now the big question, A, latest. By when I can finish A? Most of you are telling 3, but some people are telling 8 also. Why? Why 8? No, 8 cannot be there. Can you delay A by 8? No. B will get delayed. B will get delayed, isn't it? B is waiting for you. So you can't delay A. You have to finish at 3. See, C can wait. C can wait till 8, but there is B also. Take care of both. You know, don't forego one activity in favor of another one. So C can delay, but B, there are two friends waiting for you. C can wait for you, but B can't wait for you. And both are very good friends, right? So 3, yes. And then of course here it is 0. So this is how you do it. And this is network diagramming. Some questions generally are asked on that. Well, okay, let's go back. I think I've spent too much time on it, but let's go. It's not that difficult. In fact, this is how we schedule. This is how we manage. Okay. Another thing, costs. We can report the how our project is progressing, how our project is doing in terms of time, in terms of cost, by using earned value analysis. See? So this is how you'll be monitoring and reporting your project as a project manager. Of course, you will have people who will do all these things. By the way, project manager, as I said, he's like a film director. Project manager is like a director of a film. When you see a film, you only see the actor, you only see the actor and actresses and the songs and the background music and the story. Story is written by story writer. Dialogues are written by dialogue writer. Scripts are written by script writer. Actors are acting. Background music scored by musicians. Then what is director doing? Director is the project manager. Okay. Director is not writing dialogues. Director is not acting. Director is not scoring music. He's the project manager, right? He's making others to do that. Okay, okay, and it's just joking. And like it's a collaborative effort. Always, every project is a collaborative effort. No one is. You will see, oh, in a movie, always hero, he has all the tantrums. Well, in project management also, you have some people who have tantrums. You have to manage them. You have to manage using your skills. So in the people related domain, there are lots of topics. I don't think we have time to discuss too much of those, but how to manage the conflicts, how to build up a nice team, how to keep them motivated. You will learn a lot of motivational skills also. You also have to be emotionally intelligent. Now, this is one new thing which has been added to the new format of our the PMP examination. Emotional intelligence, very beautiful, excellent topics are introduced there, and I'm really I'm like very much interested when it comes to people and emotional being I write poetry also, by the way. So no, I'm not recite poetry here or in my training programs, but I'm just telling you. So emotional intelligence is also important. That is a new thing which has been added in the new format of PMI examination. Okay, coming to some little bit of technical, one more technique, then after that I will start. Let's say you are building a wall, you're constructing a wall, let's say, and you need to report. I'll give you a flavor of earned value analysis. Now, people find this as very difficult topic, so I'm just taking the difficult topics, right? Motivational techniques and everything. Although very much interested in teaching all these things, but they are easier topic and everyone understands that. Yeah, it's easy to understand motivational techniques, it's difficult to apply them. Yeah, we motivate you to apply those motivational techniques in our training programs, by the way. Okay, so let us say you are you are constructing the boundary wall of your say 5-star hotel. Okay, and the allocated budget is you should spend $1,000 for each of the side. There are 4 sites to be completed. Okay, okay, and let's say the real estate you have every day, like this is 1 day, duration is assigned is 1 day, and this is 1 day, and this is 1 day as well. Now, let me tell you about the reality, how the project is progressing. As I told you, project is not going to progress exactly as per the plan. So first wall, 100% completed, and they spent $1,000. Okay, good. Second, they it is 100% completed. So let's imagine you are on the day 3 evening, you are going there at the site, and you see something has happened, and you are evaluating. So first wall, $1,000 expense, and you took 1 day. Second wall is also completed, but they took $1,200. Cost was $1,200. So yeah, something is there. So here you have taken $1,000, but here it is $1,200. And the third wall, let us see. And let's say the first wall is completed, as you go and see it is completed. Second wall is also completed. The third wall, let us see the status. Third wall is half done. Oh, you should have completed. No, sir, I couldn't complete. Happens. So it's half done. And you should have spent how much? $500. But how much you spent? Oh, $600. Issue is there. You completed only half. And instead of taking $500, you took $600. Now let me comment about your process or project status. So first, what is the planned value? I look at the planned value. What is the planned value? What at the end of day 3? How much we had planned to complete? 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000 is $3,000, right? Any questions here? I hope no. Okay. Now, how much value you have earned or delivered to the customer? We will say that is known as give me a second, earned value. 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 500 only. Why? Customer is going to pay you only 500. How much value you have delivered is 500. You spent 600. That is your problem, not Bill Gates' problem. Okay. He told you that spend $1,000 and complete one the full wall, but obviously you completed only half of that. So he is willing to pay you only 1,000 plus earned value. How much you earned? Only 2,500. So if I want to comment about your time, how well you are doing, there's a variance, isn't it? We have a schedule variance. We are having a schedule variance, we call it. How much is the schedule variance? Okay, if I write it here, 2,500 minus 3,000, EV minus PV. 2,000, it will be minus 500. Minus 500. Oh, you are behind schedule by $500 of work. And if I want to put an index, how are you performing? How much you should have performed? 3,000. But how much you performed? 2,500. So schedule performance index. Schedule performance index. How are you performing? Your index. You should have performed 3,000. But how much you performed? You should have, if 3,000 were there, I would have said you are 100% or 1. And index is generally 0 to 1. So, but oh, unfortunately, you are 2,500, which is some number. Okay, I'll just say, I'll take help here. I'll not spend time in calculation. So the number is 2,000, it's 0.833. Oh, you can also help me. Yeah, you can do calculations, don't worry. So 0.833, 0.83. Yeah, 83%. Only 83% of the work is completed, sir. Then comes our next one. How about the cost, sir? Well, cost. I'll put in red, very important. Even Bill Gates is worried about the costs. Yeah. Actual cost. How much is the actual cost? 1,000 plus 1,200 plus 600. How much is coming? 2,800. So your cost variance. Cost variance is how much? 2,800 my 2,500, which you should have spent, minus 2,800, which comes to minus 300. Okay. It is EV minus AC. If you want the formula, I'll not go into the details and don't worry about the jargons. Understand the concept. See, the new format emphasizes on understanding the concept. Earlier, there was one book, PIM Box 6. Now they have given 6, 7, 8 books. Now it will be confusion. Don't worry, we are there. I am there. I'm come as okay. Don't worry. See, they want to understand the concept. If you just remember the formula, it's not going to help you anymore. Sorry. If you just remember inputs, output, process, no, sorry. You have to understand the bigger picture. You have to understand the concepts. That is important. Don't think I will memorize a formula or memorize some methodology and no, sorry, you will not. It's difficult to pass that way. You have to understand the concept. That is what our training is focused on. Yes. So CV, and finally let us do a cost performance index also, very very quickly. Cost performance index, 2,500 divided by 2,800, whatever some number will be there. It is there, I think, somewhere. Okay, anyone has calculated? Please help me to speed up the process. It is 0.893, 89%. So you're performing in terms of 89%. Now, if you are like that, if your efficiency in terms of cost is 0.89, will you take $4,000 to complete the whole job? You are supposed to take $4,000, but with 89% efficiency, see, you will not take 4,000, but you will take more than that, whatever it is, 4,000 something. I'm not writing it. Understand the concept, as I said, right? Have you understood the concept? Yeah, 4 something. Yeah, someone has written. Oh, Harsh Kumar has even written 4494. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, good. Okay, a lot of people have written. Sorry, Zahid has also written. Shishir has written. Okay, Mohammed has even written 4449.4. Okay, decimal also 9.3. Okay, good. You are great. Oh, why are you? Say, I should tell you something else. You already know about all these things. Oh, you are those 30% people who already know those concepts. Coming for revision. Okay, no issues. So similarly, I can calculate for the SPI. If I am at 0.83, will I take 4 days? No, 4 divided by 0.83, and I'll estimate the duration. I will give a signal to my manager. Sorry, don't expect this wall to be completed in 4 days. Please expect it to be completed in some days, 4 point something days. Or your cost, I'll ask Bill Gates, sir, give me some more money, 4,200 something, additional 200. Oh, there is a problem. This is known as change request. Now, project manager has to stop all these things as much as possible. Everyone will say, sir, I'm spending more money. Please give me. Project manager will not allocate that. Okay, please take it. No. He has to manage. He has to stop those as much as possible. He has to stop those changes. He has to have some certain skills. Again, comes to people skills, negotiation skills. A very beautiful chapter. In fact, I love conducting that training program on negotiation skills, conflict management. Conflicts. Do you think conflict is good? Can you please tell me? What do you think? Conflict is good or bad? People are saying conflict is not good. No, no, no. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Conflict is, please understand, conflict is good for the project. 80% of the conflicts are due to, like, oh, I told you to complete this in 4 days. You are taking 4.5 days. There's a conflict. But so, what is the no conflict situation? Sir, I took 4.5 days. Okay, no problem. Sir, I spent 5,000 instead of 4,000. No problem. No conflict. Is it good for the project? No, it is not good for the project. So please understand, you have to go to the root cause of the problem. And there is a beautiful methodology, and no time to tell you about all these things. Very, very beautiful. Like, what are the sequences? How to go to the root causes. Okay, go to the root causes and resolve the conflicts. See, no person is there, comes to the project site or in the during the project, like, today I will fight with 3 people. Yeah, well, some people are like that. We're not talking about 5% people are like that. 95% people are not like that. They're not like today I'm going to fight with 3 people. Today I'm going to have a debate with 70 people. No, everyone wants a peaceful life. But there are project conflicts only interest of the project. So project conflicts can be good. Please remember that. Anyway, no time to discuss too much about it. But let me talk about a little bit more about maybe 1 or 2 more topics very quickly. Okay, tools and techniques. As a quality manager, of course, I am a Lean and Six Sigma master black belt. I love teaching quality tools and techniques. But in 10 minutes, how can I teach you so much? But let me tell you. Let us take you're a project manager, and some of the things are not taking place properly. You will use all these cause and effect, flow chart, histogram, Pareto chart, run chart, scatter diagram, control chart. All these techniques you will be using. You will have a quality manager like a black belt or a master black belt who will be at your service. So what he will do, wherever there's a delay, like for example, if I want to take an example of some activity in your project, let us take an example of activity of project delay. Let's say, so procurements are being delayed. You procured some cement, procured some steel, and it is delaying. Then what will you do? You know, don't blame the people. As Edward Deming used to say, 85% of the problems are not due to the people, they are due to the systems, they are due to the processes. So, okay, I'm opening up yeah, that black screen. I'll just remove. Yeah. So, what he said was, fix the processes. The same people will deliver excellent results. The same people will deliver excellent results if you just change the process. So, think of process improvement. So whichever process delayed, construction, safety related issues, whatever problems you have problems. You have problem solving tools available. Apply those tools and techniques. Maybe I'll demonstrate some of them. Of course, I train this in great detail in my 35 hours of training, and it's not 35 hours, by the way. It runs into 45, 50. It's more, but 35 is promised for sure. So if I just take an example of procurement delay, so just to understand, there are 2 types of data. In the world, there are only 2 types of data. What is 2 types? Continuous and attribute. Continuous data is like this number, procurement time in my organization. 120 days, 125 days. Oh, it takes too much time. It will delay my project. I would like to reduce it. So this is a typically how my project works. Okay. I can easily calculate the performance of my any process. I am taking an example of procurement time. It can be any, like it can be audit time, safety audit time, design time. It can be anything. Construction of wall, that also, wherever there's a problem, I can construct. I'll collect the data. You can't improve if you cannot collect. You cannot measure. You cannot improve if you cannot measure. And the second rule is, you can measure everything. How? By either continuous data or attribute data. The 2 types of measures, continuous data or attribute data. So for example, I measured this in continuous data. Average is 124 and standard deviation is 3. Okay. So this let me tell you the brief story of standard deviation too. See, Mr. Gauss, he found, he said in 19th century, in fact, without computer, without laptop, without mobile phone, he found it out. Look at the genius, He said that every repetitive activity has got, it follows normal distribution. Normal distribution. And it has got an average and it has got a standard deviation. Every repetitive, like you're constructing a wall, constructing the floor of the first floor, second floor, third floor, you're doing 25 times, right? It is repetitive activity. Procurement time. Average procurement time is 120 days. Standard deviation is, let's say, 3 days. So he said that you can estimate about the whole process performance by constructing this normal distribution curve. Normal means it is normal to obtain a normal distribution curve for any activity. Your travel time also takes normally distributed. If you want to go to, let's say, my training program, my webinars, although it finishes as 2 hours, sometimes it goes to a little bit 2 hours, 10 minutes, sometimes 2 hours, 30 minutes. People ask too many questions, it becomes 2 hours, 30 minutes. Sometimes people are knowledgeable. They say, sir, we already know all these things. Go to some higher concepts. Then I talk about, and they finish in 1.5 hours. So, 2 hours on average. Standard deviation is 10 minutes. Yeah. You can estimate now, though, as Mr. Gauss, Carl Frederick Gauss, full name. Okay. He said that plus 3 sigma and minus 3 sigma, every activity will be. So standard deviation is 120. So I can write for my procurement process 120, 1 sigma. This is 1 sigma, this is 2 sigma, this is 3 sigma. So it will be 123, 126, and 129. Here it will be 117, 114, and 111. I hope I have written correctly. Yeah, excuse me if some calculations are, because of I'm tensed because I need to finish too many things. So yeah, so all procurements in my project site will take 111 days to 129 days. Yeah, and by the way, there's a technique, PERT technique, and a lot of other Monte Carlo techniques which we learn in our sessions. See, if you remember in our that network diagram, I said this activity is taking 3 months. But if you want to think in terms of Gaussian curve, a normal curve, I wouldn't say 3 months. I'll say average is 120 days. Standard deviation is 3 days. So I will estimate it to be 111 to 129, and I can simulate based on the probabilities. I can even simulate. Now I'm not going to talk too much about it. Let us stay with the basics right now. Okay. So here 111 to 129 days. Oh, am I happy? Not really happy. We call this as lower control limit. We call it as lower control limit, and we call it as upper control limit. LCL and UCL. So my procurement process is taking 111 to 129 days. 120 is the average. This is how my procurement. This is how everything, designing, painting, moving the material from here to there on the site, crane operations, everything. They follow all normal distributions. You can have those processes. You can see the performances. Now, are you happy with 111 to 129 days? No, sorry. I need to change the DNA of my process. I want to shift it to, I want to change the control limits of the process. I want to reduce it. You can use some tools and techniques. So first, you can use a cause and effect diagram. List down all the possible causes. Think of all the I think there is no time to show you a real project. Usually, sometimes I show the project also, but I'm just showing the real, actually, the real calculations. So yeah, doesn't matter. In one of another training program, I had shown you the project, so you can see that recording as well. Okay, so method, SOP not followed, approval delay, vendor reply delayed. All these are the causes: man, machine, material. These are the 6 M's: method, man, machine, material, environment, measurements. All these things. Environment also sometimes mother nature. So I can make By the way, I'm using, some people are asking which software it is. It is Minitab software. You join my session, I'll give you the software for free. Don't worry. So here, yeah, go. It's not costly. Don't worry. If you're asking what is the cost, I'll tell you. I'll tell you in short. Towards the end, I'll tell you. So here, you know, delayed procurement are due to, it's very easy. I've listed down the causes. How did I do? No. You do? Did you do? No. You got the team member. You have a quality manager who assembled the team, who brainstormed on the causes. Everything is done by the team. You know. So they came out with all the tools, reasons why procurement is delayed. You use Pareto chart. Pareto means 80-20. Mr. Wilfredo Pareto was an Italian economist who found that 80% of the wealth in Italy was with 20% of the people. 80% of the wealth in Italy was with 20% of the people. Okay. 80-20 rule, Pareto analysis. So delay, 80% of my delay is not due to all the causes. Only 20% of these causes, means if I've listed 10 causes, only 2 of them are responsible, 20% of them. 2 of them are responsible for the delayed procurement. So I can do a Pareto chart. So there are lots of, techniques, very, very easy to, I'll do a Pareto on this. Which cause is occurring most? Well, requirements clarity is occurring most, biggest cause. Delivery delays, then vendor selection delay. Oh, that is also root cause. And then approval delay. So all these things I will take care, or of course, not project manager will not take care, but he will make sure that there is a person in our project team who will take care of all these things. So just wanted to show you. In fact, there are some detailed, if you want to learn more, in one of my, you can attend my yellow belt session, actually Lean Six Sigma yellow belt session. It's also 2.5 hour session is given. My team will put, I think my team, if you can put it as a, if you can share the yellow belt session, please have a look at it. All these tools are given in detail. I've described those tools in much more detail, explained a lot of other quality related concepts. But here right now, I'll just say that some more tools, like, is delivery time affecting my procurement time? So procurement time and delivery time both are continuous data. So there's a tool called scatter plot. Okay, scatter plot I can use. I'll see whether it's related or not. And so I'm trying to now find the root causes. Procurement delay. I hope I'm not, you're not getting the echo. I hope I've just,
No.
uh, I've just put on the mobile also on, just in case there's a break in the service, so that you can, I can keep speaking. Now here we have got procurement time and let's say delivery time. Let's say you can choose any variables. Oh, appears to be related. So let me work on the delivery time. So there is a real delivery time is the real root cause. I validated it using some data. Let us look at other thing also. Is vendors, let's say something else, like some other vendor selection time. Is it affecting? Oh, no, it is not affecting. There's no relationship. There's no positive or negative. It's like scattered. So it's not. So vendor selection time is not the root cause. So you can do the root cause analysis and solve your problems. Yeah. So this is how you can continue doing applying these tools and techniques. Okay. Let us do a quick question. I have got more tools also. So I'll talk about them. Let me ask you one question. Okay. Just, yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you a question. This question is going to give you $10,000.
Let's play. Here we go.
When a product or service completely meets a customer's requirements, the cost of quality is low, quality is achieved. The cost of quality is high, or the customer pays the minimum price. What is the best answer? when a product or service completely meets a customer's requirement. What is the best answer? Most of you are saying B, which is a बिल्कुल सही जवाब. Means I mean to say you are right. You have won $10,000. But some of you have said customer pays them in. See, all of them might be right. That is the beauty of PMP examination. You have to choose the best answer. You have to choose the best answer. So we train you how to, and there are some tricks, elimination tricks, and we train you in all these things. Okay, one more question for you. Let, who is ultimately responsible for quality management on the project? The word is ultimately. Please remember. Everyone is responsible. Who's ultimately responsible? Yes. So most of you, should I lock that? क्या करना चाहेंगे आप? लॉक करना चाहेंगे? कंप्यूटर जी, ए पर ताला लगाया जाए. Okay. Mr. Computer, please lock A. Project manager, yes, it is the right answer. Ultimately, project manager is responsible. Maybe the responsibility may be for quality manager as well, but ultimately, now who's going to be caught in case quality is not good? Yes, quality project manager. Okay, I will just proceed. Due to lack of time, I will. So I talked about the team building. Due to very much lack of time, I will not proceed too much. But one of the things, as I was talking about, misconception about conflicts. Most of the conflicts are due to schedules, project priorities. In my project, please give me 2 IT managers for this week. No, sorry. These IT managers are somewhere else. IT programmers are somewhere else. Oh, can I have designers for 2-3 days? Can I have your crane operator for this particular constraint? No, sorry. These are all project priorities, resources. Give me people, technical opinions. No, I don't think this is the right way. It will reduce the strength. These are all sources of conflicts, and conflicts are good for the organization. Okay. Risk is also there. In risk, you have different components. Event, which triggers the risk. What's the probability? 0 to 1. Usually you write 0 to 1, or sometimes you can write 1, 2, 3, 4 also. 4 means very, very high probability. 1 means very low probability. Impact, what is the impact? Again, you write 0 to 1, or maybe 1 to 4. To be very honest, PMBOK doesn't recommend any scales. You can choose your scale, 1 to 10, 1 to 5, whatever, but you have to have a scale. So probability, what is the probability of that, impact of that, severity of that? Maybe there's not much time, but in the previous session, I had gone into details of risk management. So let me show you that part. So we together, in fact, we identified the risks, of our 5-star hotel project. And risk can be good or positive, or in favor, or not in our favor also. Risk, anything unlikely event, right? So blue ones are we don't like such events, and green ones are something good. It's also a risk, unlikely, but it will benefit the project. So fire, probability is 0.2, impact is 0.9. Multiply the two, you get severity, 0.18. Equipment delay, oh, very high probability, 0.8. Impact is 0.6. You get the severity. Project key team member leaves. Leaving is important. So government policy not in favor of the project. It changes the government policy. All these are risks. Hospital planned near the hotel. Oh, it's a good thing to happen. Hospital is being planned. It's likely to come. How likely? Oh, 0.8. Probability is very high. Okay. So you have got different scenarios. You can so you get your severity ratings of all the risks. The top risks you will like to act on. Other risks you will say, okay, let it be. So there are different strategies. Maybe I'll just show you some of the strategies in case of risk. This is the probability impact metrics. Like you have probability, you have impact, multiplication of this. So anything which is above 0.6, your organization has decided to take an action. Now your organization can frame its own policies. You have 3 strategies for negative risks: avoid, mitigate, or transfer. Avoid means don't do that. Like instead of, if I want to avoid the delay due to customs delay due to the material I'm importing. If I want to avoid, that, I will order all the materials in my, domestically. I'll procure all the materials, something like that. So transfer means risk. Transfer it to third party, like insurance. Similarly, for positive risk, you can exploit. Be happy and exploit it, or share with some other. Like, you may not be an expert to exploit that particular opportunity. Share it with someone. Like, the hospital, is coming up. You would like to, you can have a collaboration with them, saying that, let's collaborate, and you have relatives of the patients. You can give reference to of our hotel, and something like that. And enhance means you can increase that probability, more, influence that particular good thing which is happening for your project. You can enhance that. These are all strategies. And one is acceptance also for both. You can accept, like, do nothing about it. So if I just take an example here, they have taken an example strategy for fire. They are transferring. The strategy is transfer. They buy an insurance. Equipment delay, they are mitigating. Buy from existing vendors, or put a penalty clause, whatever. You can come out with the response plan. And similarly, here also, share, hospital plan near hotel, sharing. And trade show is planned in the near future, like Dubai 2020. Oh, anyway, doesn't matter. 2021, it will happen in the future. So something like that, you can exploit it. Yeah. So anything which is positive and negative, you have a strategy, and that's what project manager will do. There are a lot of other things, like, you have to manage your stakeholders, get the names of the stakeholders, manage the people. How interested is that stakeholder? All the stakeholders, you have to manage them, engage them, manage the engagement. In fact, you can't manage or influence the stakeholders. You can manage their engagement. Okay, so you identify everyone who's having high interest in the project and high power, low interest, high power, low interest, low power, and high interest, low power. So list down all of them that they have listed down here. Then expect what are the expectations of the very important project managers, stakeholders, so that you can communicate to everyone in your team. And generally, this is not shared. This document is not shared with everyone. So, within the team members, like, if you have met with Mr. Stephen, and he's in a particular, he has got some expectations. So you can communicate to their team that Mr. Stephen expects detailed reports, etc. I know what kind of person he is. Similarly, this is known as all stakeholder analysis, managing issues. They will have lots of issues. Take care of those issues. So that's what. And of course, when you are completing the project, you should handle the staff. You can release the staff appropriately, reward the staff, make all the payments. Very important. Everyone who has worked hard should be paid. Who's going to ensure? Project manager is going to ensure. And all the lessons learned should be documented. So generally, this is what happens. Now, new format, just to spend a little time on the new format. Now, the processes have been changed to domains. 42% of the questions are on people, 50% on the processes, and business environment. I talked about 3 domains. Now, there are 3 domains. All the processes have been reassigned to tasks. Domains have tasks, and tasks have enablers, and each enablers has got some tools and deliverables. So now the way I will be teaching is in this format, and it is recommended. In fact, this is all recommended by PMI. So we are an accredited training provider of PMI, so we have to follow their guidance and instructions as it is. We will use exactly the same material provided by PMI. So, I can explain that in my own words, but the material is from PMI. And when you enroll for our program, you also get an access to PMI portal. Yeah, PMI portal, you will be enrolled with PMI. And this is the new thing which has happened now. So all of you will attend sessions, and the material will be coming from them. It's a collaborative effort. So now we have people domain, process domain, and business environment, as I told you. So a lot of things like team building is coming in the process for people. So some of the tasks had been reassigned, I would say. So don't worry. Like if you have studied till December for the previous format, still a little bit of additional topics are there, which of course, like as I said, emotional intelligence, yeah, or focus on agility, agile. So agile project management, a little bit of focus is there, a little bit more is there. So this all we take care. As I said, like old to know, like these were the processes. Now they have become tasks. Like build a team, define team ground rules, build a shared. Yeah, I'm just giving some examples. Build shared understanding about the project, negotiate project agreements, empower team members, stakeholders, engage and support virtual teams, lead a team, motivate a team, manage a conflict, management conflict we talked about. So mentor relevant stakeholders, promote team performance through applications of emotional intelligence. So all these things. Uh, in process domain, you have got plan and manage scope. We talked about it. Plan and manage budget and resources. Manage the schedule. We also talked about it. Manage quality. We talked about it. Planning, plan and management, procurement. All these things. Engage the stakeholders. Manage project artifacts. Manage process project changes. Very important. Change management. Change management, change requests we are talking about. Yeah. So here, and change management also, when we are talking about emotional intelligence, etc. Ensure knowledge transfer of the project continuity. Business environment, you have building a team, defining team ground rules, etc. So uh, all these things. So now, by the way, you have earned 2 PDUs. If you are a PMP already, you can directly, while you are claiming in the certification, this is only for those 10% people or 7-8% who are already PMP. So you can always say that you've attended Anexas program uh, webinar on introduction to project management, and directly you can claim. If you want a certificate, that also you can, but very, uh, very admin fees applicable. In case you need a certificate, admin fees applicable for that. You can get an e-certificate. You can write to our team and you can always get it. Okay. Just let me ask you one question for fun till the time you are thinking about the questions. The project management introduction by Amitabh Saxena, I am the Amitabh Saxena, was A, not helpful, B, okay, C, helpful, or D, very helpful. Oh, okay. Oh, everyone is telling these, so nice of you, you're so nice. Oh, some of you are saying C, okay, fine, okay. But, oh, 90%. Oh, let me have a poll as well. Okay, we can have a poll as well. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let us just to tell you that uh, when you are dealing with us, when you're uh, 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 doing training from us, a lot of things are there. We focus on passing the exam. Success matters. And we are authorized by PMI, and all our trainers are authorized by PMI. We have a lot of practice question and answers. Project templates, we also give you project templates, which you can use in real projects. You like to see how real templates exist. We give you. Registration is now open. So if you want, you can register for the new PMP exam, and we'll prepare you well. You will be in safe hands. Don't worry. Our success of passing rate is very high. And nowadays, PMI has prevented from telling any numbers. Yeah, so we will not tell you the numbers, but I can tell you it's very high. Uh, you can get connected with me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, if you want, Amitabh Saxena, you can connect me. I'll accept the LinkedIn connections in the next half an hour to an hour. Uh, Feeling nervous or stressed out, you're not alone. We'll make sure that you will feel confident on the PMP exam day. Okay. So we have got adequate experience, 30 years of experience I have got in industry in general, in related fields. So you will get, and Anexas instructors. I am an instructor. Most probably, I'll be your instructor. In fact, I will be your instructor in the next one month, or 2 months, 2 months. I am only going to conduct the training programs. It's the beginning, so I want uh, that I should really participate in it, and you will be getting all the PMI developed content. Okay, so whatever we are going to show you, everything is coming from PMI. So uh, session is interactive. Today it was not possible with so many people, around 300 people were there. So around 250 people. So 250 people, it's not easy to interact. So I wanted to give you more information. So more than 100,000, if you see 1 million PMP certification holders are there worldwide. And there's an increase of 25% salary based on the survey conducted by PMI. Okay, and employers will need lots, 2.2 million new project oriented roles, okay, each year through 2027. So there's a high demand of certified PMPs. Okay, why join us? Training with ATP like us is always going to ensure that you learn the PMI developed content. We are the authorized partner, and we have undergone, all of our instructors have to undergo a certification from PMI. They certify, once they certify, then only we can conduct the training program. And all the organizations like us are also have to undergo a thorough process of our past performance, and then we are allocated the ATP badge. Uh, Okay, so it will help you a lot. It will develop a lot of specific skills, what your employers want. And this will be my first batch. So it will be like, wow. See, for first batch, you're always enthusiastic. This is the new year first batch. That is one. Then new format first batch. And I'm really working hard, all the new tools and techniques, whatever has been introduced. It's not too many things have been introduced new, means 80, 90, 80%, I would say. I can't assign a percentage, but maximum is same, so those who have already attended our previous training, don't worry. We'll be conducting a separate session for them anyway, for whatever additional has happened. Additional topics have been brought in. But and that is for if you are certified by us, this training session is free for you. But of course, if you are certified from somewhere else, you will have to pay for that upgrading or new orientation to the new format session. But that will be separately there. But I'm talking about the full-fledged 35 hours. Fine. So good. Nice. Thanks a lot once again. I hope I have answered all your questions. And maybe if you have any questions, you can write to me in LinkedIn also. Or you can write to my admin team, say related to cost and everything on dates and time. You can write to my admin team with the inquiry@anexas.net, or I think SEO@anexas.net. You can write to them. Okay, so thanks a lot. Pavitra@anexas.net. You can write to Pavitra@anexas.net also. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So goodbye. See you soon.